Some places on Earth aren't just dangerous. They don't want you there. It's not just about extreme weather or deadly creatures. These places swallow people whole, erase them from existence, and defy logic. Some are so cursed that governments have banned entry, while others are so hostile that even trained professionals barely make it out alive. From radioactive wastelands to islands crawling with death, today we're diving into 15 places you'll regret trying to explore. If you think you could survive these, think again, because some explorers never return. Let's begin. Number 15. North Sentinel Island, India. If there's one place you should never set foot on, it's North Sentinel Island. And you can Google it. We're not lying. Home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes on Earth, this island is completely off limits, because the people there will kill anyone who tries to visit. The Indian government has banned all access, and for good reason. Fishermen who accidentally drift too close have been speared to death. Even a missionary who tried to spread the word of God was shot full of arrows the moment he set foot on shore. It's not just about hostility, it's about survival. The Sentinelese have lived in isolation for thousands of years, and exposure to outsiders could wipe them out with common diseases. No photos, no videos, no tourism. If you try to explore North Sentinel Island, you won't be telling the story. You'll become the story. Number 14. Mount Everest's Death Zone. Everyone dreams of conquering Everest, but here's what they don't tell you. You're more likely to die up there than make it back down. Above 8,000 meters, you enter the death zone, where oxygen levels are so low that your body literally starts dying. Every step feels like walking on another planet, and if you collapse, no one can help or even hear you. Here, rescue is simply impossible. Over 300 climbers have died, and most are still there, frozen in time, becoming grim waypoints for those attempting the climb. Some have been left sitting in perfectly preserved condition for decades, their final moments frozen in horror. The most infamous body, Green Boots, still lies curled in a cave, passed by climbers who know that if they stop to help, they might not make it either. Everest isn't a challenge. It's a coin flip between glory and death. Number 13. Snake Island, Brazil. Nature doesn't play fair, and Snake Island is proof. Officially called Ilha da Queimada Grande, this island off the coast of Brazil is so deadly that the government has made it illegal to visit. Why? Because it's home to thousands of golden lancehead vipers, one of the deadliest snakes in the world. With venom so powerful it melts flesh and causes instant organ failure, you won't make it off the island alive. Scientists estimate there's at least one snake per square meter, meaning no matter where you step, you're one wrong move away from a painful death. Even professional researchers only visit with government permission, and with a doctor on standby. If you somehow ignore all the warnings and try to explore Snake Island, your trip won't last long. But the $64 question here is, why someone on Earth want to visit this snakes-filled place? Number 12. The Catacombs of Paris. It's human nature to be drawn to the unknown, but some places should stay unexplored. Beneath the romantic streets of Paris lies a bone-filled labyrinth that has swallowed people whole. The catacombs hold over 6 million human skeletons, neatly stacked into eerie patterns, a chilling reminder that this city has more dead beneath it than living above it. But the real nightmare isn't in the tourist section. It's in the unmapped tunnels that stretch for miles. Even trained explorers have vanished, and in 2010, a camcorder was found deep inside. The footage? A man frantically running, panicked, breathing heavily, until he drops the camera. He was never seen again. If your flashlight dies, if you take a wrong turn, if panic sets in, there's no escape. The catacombs don't just trap you, they make you part of their story. And once you're down there, you might never see daylight again. In one word, this place is scary. Number 11. Bikini Atoll. Bikini Atoll was once a paradise in the Pacific, but today it's a radioactive wasteland. Between 1946 and 1958, the U.S. conducted 23 nuclear tests here, including the infamous Castle Bravo bomb, the most powerful nuclear explosion ever tested by the U.S., 1,000 times stronger than Hiroshima. The fallout was deadly. The explosion left craters on the ocean floor, contaminated the island with lethal radiation, and forced the evacuation of its residents. In fact, even decades later, radiation levels remain dangerously high. Scientists have discovered mutated coral and lingering radioactive elements in the soil. Despite claims that radiation has decreased, resettling the island is still unsafe. The water surrounding Bikini Atoll is teeming with life, but eating the fish is a risky gamble with radiation poisoning. Some daredevil divers visit the sunken warships left behind from nuclear tests, but make no mistake, this place isn't just dangerous, it's a toxic ghost town that will remain uninhabitable for centuries. All right, guys, now let's head over to Number 10. Oymyakon, Russia. If you think winter in your city is bad, welcome to Oymyakon, Russia, where temperatures drop so low that your breath turns to ice mid-air. This tiny Siberian village holds the record for the coldest inhabited place on Earth, with temperatures plunging to -90 degrees. Here, eyelashes freeze in seconds, batteries die instantly, and exposed skin can suffer frostbite within minutes. Cars are kept running 24/7 because turning them off means they won't start again. Food? Forget fresh produce. Nothing grows here. Locals survive on a diet of frozen fish, reindeer meat, and ice-cold vodka to numb the misery. Despite the harshest conditions imaginable, about 500 people still live here, proving that humans can survive just about anything, except maybe a Wi-Fi outage. If you ever visit, bring triple-layered clothing and a survival mindset, because the cold here doesn't just bite, it devours. Number 9. Death Valley, USA. Death Valley isn't just hot, it's a death trap. It's basically Venus. This California-Nevada desert holds the record for the highest temperature ever recorded on Earth, 134 degrees Fahrenheit. In July 2023, it nearly broke its own record, hitting 131 degrees Fahrenheit. Step outside here, and you'll feel your skin cooking as you cook chicken. Heat stroke can set in within minutes, and if you run out of water, well, you won't last the day. Despite the extreme heat, tourists still underestimate it. In 2021, a hiker was found dead after venturing out alone in 125 degrees Fahrenheit heat. Even experienced explorers don't always make it back. The valley's brutal heat, jagged terrain, and complete lack of water make survival nearly impossible. The name Death Valley isn't just for show, it's a warning. If you don't have something special in life or you think you have lived enough, this desert is the perfect rest place. Number 8. Skeleton Coast, Namibia. The Skeleton Coast is where nature gives 0 second chances. Stretching along Namibia's Atlantic coastline, this desolate region is a graveyard of shipwrecks, animal remains, and lost explorers. Why? Well, it is pretty simple. Because everything here wants you dead. The climate is merciless. Boiling heat by day, freezing at night, and absolutely no fresh water. If you get stranded here, rescue isn't coming. The ocean's violent waves and hidden sandbanks have claimed countless ships, their rusted carcasses still scattered along the shore. Sailors who washed up alive found themselves in a worse situation, lost in a waterless desert, surrounded by scavengers. Even today, this inhospitable landscape remains largely unexplored, and those who venture too far into it, they don't come back. So, if you want to do something great in life without a trace, this coast offers endless possibilities. Just make sure you don't get lost. Number 7. Sumatra Island, Indonesia. Sumatra is breathtaking, but it's also one of the most disaster-prone places on the planet. Sitting along the Ring of Fire, this island is a ticking time bomb of earthquakes, tsunamis, and volcanic eruptions. In 2004, a 9.1 magnitude earthquake struck off Sumatra's coast, triggering the Indian Ocean tsunami, one of the deadliest natural disasters in history, killing over 230,000 people. The island is home to 35 active volcanoes, including Mount Sinabung, which has been erupting on and off for years. Adding to the chaos, Sumatra's dense, uncharted jungles are filled with tigers, venomous snakes, and dangerous flash floods. Landslides wipe out entire villages, and the island's unstable terrain makes rescue efforts nearly impossible. Sumatra may be a tropical paradise, but it comes at the cost of living under constant threat of annihilation. If Mother Nature had a rage switch, Sumatra is where she keeps flipping it. Alright guys, now, let's talk about Number 6. Madidi National Park, Bolivia. Madidi National Park looks like a dream for nature lovers, but it's a nightmare for anyone who underestimates it. Spanning 19,000 square kilometers, this Amazonian jungle in Bolivia is home to some of the world's most dangerous predators and toxic plants. Every step in Madidi comes with a risk. Brush against the wrong plant? You'll suffer painful rashes, burns, or even hallucinations. Take a dip in the wrong river? You might attract blood-sucking candiru fish or piranhas. Even the butterflies here have been seen drinking the tears of turtles and jaguars, a haunting reminder of how unforgiving this ecosystem is. Many travelers have gone missing or fallen dangerously ill while exploring. If you don't have a local guide, you might as well be walking into nature's most brutal survival experiment. So, unless you're a trained survivalist, Madidi isn't a place for casual explorers. It's where the jungle always wins. Number 5. Fukushima, Japan. Fukushima was once a thriving, picturesque region, but on March 11, 2011, everything changed. A 9.0 magnitude earthquake triggered a tsunami, which then led to one of the worst nuclear disasters in history, the meltdown of the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. The result? Entire towns abandoned, homes frozen in time, and a radiation hotspot that could remain dangerous for decades. Cleanup efforts have been ongoing, and parts of Fukushima have reopened, but radiation levels still fluctuate, and some areas remain too toxic for human habitation. In 2023, Japanese authorities began releasing treated radioactive water into the ocean, sparking controversy worldwide. Some scientists claim it's safe, while others fear long-term ecological damage. If you visit, stick to the designated safe zones, but even then, the eerie emptiness and invisible danger of radiation exposure make it one of the most unsettling places on Earth. Fukushima is a stark reminder that some disasters never truly end. Number 4. The Amazon rainforest, South America. The Amazon is often called the lungs of the earth, but step inside and it feels more like a living organism designed to kill you. Covering 5.5 million square kilometers, this rainforest is home to some of the deadliest creatures on the planet. Venomous snakes, flesh-eating piranhas, electric eels, jaguars, and bullet ants, each capable of ending an explorer's journey in an instant. And then, there's the real nightmare: the insects. Amazonian mosquitoes carry malaria and dengue, botflies lay eggs under human skin, and the rainforest's humidity can turn even a minor scratch into a deadly infection. Weather is another enemy. Sudden flash floods, landslides, and violent storms can trap explorers for days. With dense foliage blocking the sun, navigation is nearly impossible without a guide. Many who get lost are never seen again. The Amazon isn't just a jungle. It's nature's deadliest proving ground, where only the strongest survive. Number 3. Komodo Island, Indonesia. Komodo Island is a real-life Jurassic Park, home to the largest and most dangerous lizards on Earth, Komodo dragons. These beasts can grow over 10 feet long, weigh up to 300 pounds, and take down prey 5 times their size. Equipped with razor-sharp claws, incredible speed, and bacteria-laced saliva that causes slow, painful death, these creatures don't just attack, they stalk, ambush, and devour. And they're not afraid of humans. In 2023, a tourist was seriously injured after getting too close to one of these prehistoric predators. Even the island's park rangers carry sticks for defense, but those offer little protection if a Komodo decides your lunch. Beyond the dragons, strong currents, venomous sea creatures, and volcanic activity make this island even more treacherous. If you visit, don't wander off alone, don't get too close, and definitely don't try to outrun a Komodo dragon, because you won't. Number 2. Mount Washington, USA. We've talked about Mount Everest, but here's a twist. Mount Washington in the USA is deadlier in many ways. Despite standing at just 6,288 feet, this peak in New Hampshire has some of the worst weather conditions on Earth. In 1934, Mount Washington recorded a wind speed of 231 miles per hour, a record that stood for decades. Even today, hurricane-force winds routinely rip across the summit, turning the air into a freezing, violent nightmare. Temperatures can plummet to negative 40 degrees, and sudden whiteout blizzards make navigation nearly impossible. Even in summer, hikers can freeze to death if they're not prepared. It's so extreme that scientists train here for Antarctic missions. People underestimate Mount Washington because of its size, but the unpredictable, brutal weather has claimed over 150 lives, hikers, climbers, and scientists who thought they could handle it. This isn't just a mountain. It's nature's wind tunnel of doom. One wrong step, and you'll never make it down. Number 1. Lake Natron, Tanzania. At first glance, Lake Natron in Tanzania looks like a surreal, blood-red paradise, but it's actually one of the most lethal lakes on Earth. The water here isn't just toxic, it's so alkaline that it literally dissolves flesh. The lake's pH level can reach above 12, making it more caustic than ammonia. If an animal touches it, the high concentration of sodium carbonate preserves their bodies in a petrified state, as if they've been turned to stone. Birds that mistakenly land here die instantly, their bodies perfectly mummified by the lake's minerals. But here's where it gets weird. Flamingos thrive here. In a twist of nature's dark humor, this deadly lake is one of the world's largest flamingo breeding grounds. It's beautiful, eerie, and completely unforgiving. If you ever fell in, you'd be preserved forever, a permanent resident in nature's deadliest art gallery. Well, we hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next one.